Hello everyone, welcome back to this episode with my RADMINI. If you've seen my other video with the RAD rover, let's just go over there real quick. I have a camera mount as well as a little bar extension here. Just going to show you on the RADMINI how that was done. Essentially, you have to order two products to make it work, at least on the RAD rover. This is being one of them. Let me see here what it says here. It says horizontal extension frame for a bicycle. Okay, obviously from China off of Amazon. I'll try to put the link on. It's not a referral, it's just a link. I don't get anything out of it. But essentially, they work. The other part here is the actual mount itself. But the problem with the mount is, anyways, I didn't know if this was going to work for sure. I just bought it and just thought to myself, well, let's just hope for the best. If anything, I can just return it. You get some, looks like some accessories for the mount. So you can put a GoPro or stuff like that, and some Allen wrenches here. I'll just put that right in here for now. Let me go ahead and take it out, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, so I'm back. So here's the mount right here, as you can see. Now the problem with the mount, or mounting it, is it actually goes right where, exactly where the display, goes. So I couldn't just use this mount on here. That's what I thought when I looked into this. In any case, I did, however, want this extension bar to put some extra lights, because if you don't know already by now, if you haven't seen my previous episodes, this battery, the headlight does not work. So I'm waiting for a controller. They sent me a new light, new wiring harness, and it still didn't work. Now they're going to send me a controller. So the RAD Power Bike's warranty, it's good. So anyways, so that was the first challenge, is that this takes up, the mount takes up the space of where the display is. Now the second part is that the diameter of the mount is not big enough for this. So this is where this comes in. So this is where this comes in, okay? So you see that gasket right there? You're going to take that from this mount and actually put it into this mount, and then you'll be able to actually put it onto this horizontal bar. And so that's why you kind of need the two in order to make it work. Now this is just one solution that I've used. I think this is like $8, $9, and this is I don't know, I think this is about 40 bucks. This was probably the most expensive, but obviously the most critical, because it has the camera mount here that you need, or a camera mount. That's what it looks like on the bottom. Okay, so anyways, it does hinge right here. Another thing I would do is also, if you have some spare tubes, bike tubes that you're not using, when you take this off, I use some of the spare tubes to use as a gasket and to really clamp it tight on the actual handlebars itself. So let me go ahead and do that, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right. All right. So here I have the okay. I opened up the package for the horizontal bar right here, and basically here's the tube. It's about 8 inches. So if you want to get an idea of what it might look like, there you go. So just about the right size, I think, to be in the right place. Well, we'll see. So it's about 8 inches. Although on the website they said they got 4 inch and an 8 inch, but they give you an 8 inch. I think this is 8 inch. So here's some basically tubes, tire tubes. Just they're really small diameters from one of my a scrap piece of bike that I found that I just took the inner tube. So I use this as a gasket. You want to take these out because this actually very conveniently also fits right in here, and I'll show you that, okay? But you want to take this out. We'll mount these first to get the horizontal bar on here. All right. All right. So basically, I got one out already, and when you take it out, it's not that hard. They just come out, and there's the actual gasket around the outer gasket, and then there's this little inner gasket. So you probably want to use both of them. Um, Essentially, and this is kind of what it looks like. So they do fit. You just loosen this bolt here, and this is how it works. And this right here will fit nicely into that tube. And as for this, you're gonna use this as a gasket, kind of like this here. There we go. So you're gonna use it like this as a gasket for this as well. And then this is gonna go onto the handlebar. I just find it helps. So you could tighten it and it just holds on to the handlebar a lot better. So let me get working on that. I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, I'm back. Apparently I have another issue here. On the RAD rover, the one over there, it seemed to work really well, but this is unfortunately, if you take a look, you could see that it is just way too loose. The tire as a gasket material is not thick enough, so I'm just gonna have to come up with another solution. And unfortunately, maybe I think I have some uh, hoses that got a leak. I may use some of that material, and let's see how it works out. So let me come right back. I'll show you what I'm talking about. On the Looks like on the RAD rover it is much thicker, so I can use that rubber gasket versus on a RADMINI it doesn't seem to be as thick, as round right here. So let me see the other. I may have to position this. No, it's not gonna be long enough here. Let me grab the bar and figure out how much space I have here relative to. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do it somewhere right around here and here to make it work. It's just not long enough. So let me be right back. I'm gonna have to find another gasket material a little bit thicker. Again, I think I have some hose that had a leak, so let me try to use some of that. All right, everyone, success. Here's what I had to do in order to make it successful. There you go. You can see it. This is a very thicker material. What I did is I got a piece of used hose, and inside the hose you can see there's this piece, and then inside that piece there's this little rubbery hose in here, and unfortunately this diameter is too small, so I had to cut it lengthwise. So I just cut it right through and just gutted the hose. This is what I had, and so I got this much material out of it, and that's essentially what I used. I made a gasket. So essentially what I'm going to do is the same thing, which I'm going to just of course I'm going to do that on the other side, but I'm just going to wrap it around, measure it, and then just cut, and then I'll put it back on this side. It's a little difficult because the bolt the bolt has to kind of line up with the hole down here. So you have to kind of squeeze it really hard and line up the hole with the thread on the bottom and screw in that way. But there is a hinge. There's a hinge right here. So there's a hinge right here in which you can see the hinge right here. And there's the bolt, and then there's the thread on the bottom. So there you go. I'll do that on the other side as well, and hopefully we can get everything lined up. All right, success. It did take a while I had to use the rubber hose and plus the inner tube. As you can see right there, I used the inner tube plus the hose, and you may even see it a little bit right here, the inner tube plus the hose. It was really hard to get this to get flat, so you can actually screw that in. One of the ways I did was I went to the smaller, you can see it's being tapered right here. So I went to the smaller area, clamped it, and then slowly rocked it all the way in. For this one, I didn't do that. That's something I learned the hard way. I tried to do everything here at this spot, and it was really hard to get this screw lined up underneath here flat where I can get it to go, because when it closes, it's angled weird, so it doesn't line up. So this was really hard. This one was a lot easier because I just went to a smaller area, clamped it, and then slowly wiggled and how can I say, rocked it to this position. Even then, I didn't get it all the way to the edge like I would have liked to. But anyways, here it is. Here it is. It's all set. It's all done. It works. It's now I just wanted to see how strong it was, and it's on there pretty sturdy. It's not going to move. The problem I had was just using this alone was not enough. I needed something a little bit extra, and that's where the inner tube came in, and so got it going. So you're gonna have to probably make your own gasket here. The next thing I'm gonna do now, and this should be easier, is now that I got this gasket in here, this should work perfectly right here. All right, excellent. This should work perfectly in here. So I'm gonna loosen these up, pull the tube out, and then slide it. Just slide the tube right in, and that's how I get this in here. Like this, like this. And so I looked at many ways, and I think this is. I can always loosen this and adjust it, but I think just because the way where this is and the diameter of the handlebar, this is probably the best way this is probably the only way I'm gonna have to do it like this. So let me cut in and cut out real quick. All right, success. Hopefully, I don't think this is gonna interfere with the folding part, but this is what I got so far. I think this looks pretty even here. This is kind of centered, and I just have to, probably before I tighten, I'll just have to adjust the camera mount. All right, I'll tighten everything else except here. I'll leave it semi-tightened, and let's go for a ride after this. All right, here it is. This is on the RAD Mini, of course. It folds, and so what I'm going to do is finally got it on. It looks pretty sturdy. I'm going to try to get this done just right, but I'm going to put the camera on, get it right, get it balanced, and then I'm going to go for a ride. All right? All right, everyone. Let's give this a shot. It's installed. The camera's in. Got the battery. Let's charge it up. I got to turn the battery on. All right, battery's on. Okay, it's on display. let's get going. This is going to be another fun one. All right, this is on the RADMINI. All right. Okay, so I'm on what am I? Power Assist 1, Gear 2. I'm kind of headed towards the sun, I know that. But let's go somewhere else here. I'm really enjoying this. All right. So this is a RADMINI. All right. All right, let's ride. Jeez. Let's throttle. Let's use a little bit of throttle here. I'm on gear 5, pedal assist 1. All right, not too bad. How's that handlebar? I think the handlebar is all right. It looks pretty even, as much as even can be. I have to admit, it's a little tilted, but there's nothing I can do about that. Oh, lady needs to stop. All right, good. So lady needs to stop. All right, and I get to go. I got the right of way. I'm hearing some clicking noises coming from the back. It's been getting worse. I'm not sure what it is. I think it's one of the spokes. It's kind of getting loose. I think the spokes are getting loose. All right, so let's throttle it. So this is the RADMINI, everybody. Okay. I'm throttling. I'm actually okay, so let's so now we know what it's like on the street. This is going to be a little mini ride. I'm just throttling right here. I'm just sitting down and throttling using the cramp buster, using my thumb. Let me yield. All right. And now, oh, I got some dust in my eye. So now let's go and okay, so now let's go and let's do some little bit of off-roading. Let's see how it handles off-road. I'm gonna go down to gear 3. Let's see how this handles. All right, so I'm gonna go a little off-road here. Let's see how that handles this on ramp. Okay. Ooh, it's a little wet here. It did rain. Let me go down to gear 2, gear 1. Make it up here. All right, so this is where I'm gonna throttle here. I'm gonna use the throttle. Okay. I'm gonna have to stand up. The RADMINI is a smaller bike than the Rad Rover. The pedals are smaller too. So this is just, I'm gonna go slow. It's really thick brush around here. Hopefully y'all can see that. Good, the lighting's behind me. I got some great light. You guys can see. Oh yeah. All right, good. The throttle and the power, since I'm riding the Rad Rover and the RADMINI, I do feel a difference. The Rad Rover seems to have more of a smoother throttle control, whereas the RADMINI, it seems to be jerky, and I think it has to do with the transistors in the controller. I opened up the box to the controller on the RADMINI. It's really small. The controller's small. It must have like I don't know, 6 transistors. Whereas I think the RAD rover, if you look at the controller, it's longer, and I'm assuming it has more transistors, which give it a more power and more smoother power supply going to the motor. That's just my assumption. I'm not an electrical engineer, or not an expert in electric bikes, but just doing some simple research, this is what I found. It's getting really bumpy here, and the shocks on the RADMINI is not as good as the RAD rover. I just did a comparison ride. I just did a camera ride with the new mount on the RAD rover. Let's have a look here. I'm not going fast. But can the RADMINI handle stuff like this? Seems like it. And I am, again, I'm just using the palm. I'm using the cramp buster. I'm using the palm of my hand. All 4 fingers are on the handlebar, and and my thumb's over the cramp buster as well. But it's not pushing on it. It's mostly my palm as I put pressure, or as I squeeze the handlebar. As I squeeze the handlebar, I'm putting the throttles going. Really gripping the left handlebar to hold on. But I'm also gripping on the right handlebar as well. It's just that it's not secure because my thumb is not over it. Alright, so, okay, looks like it's a little smoother here. Let me use my thumb to punch it, and let's see what happens. Let's see how the camera mount's holding up. Oh, hopefully the camera mount's holding up. Oh, alright. The camera is jumping around just a little bit. I'm gonna try to pedal here. It's really thick. I'm gonna try to move the camera to its proper position. There we go. Oh, a little too much. Let me see if I can fix that on the fly. Kinda not. Maybe I should just leave it. It's not very noticeable. So the camera does move around slightly, but not enough. I don't think that enough for you guys can tell. So if you wanted to know, can the RAD rover take on off-road trails kind of like this? And the answer is yes. But I have to admit, the RAD rover Mini, it's a little jerky. Compared to the RAD rover, it's a lot more smoother. And again, I think it has to do with the controller, the amount of transistors that are in that controller, because the controller on the RADMINI is really small. All right. Ooh. Let's get on some trail road at least. There we go. Got a trail to follow. How's that? It's a little bit smoother. Let's see if I could move that. Okay. I adjusted the camera where it should be, kinda. Actually, let me just go ahead and stop. So this is me stopping right now. Let me adjust the camera just slightly. Slightly. There you go. That should be straight. Is that straight? Kinda. Kinda. There we go. Is it level? I think this would be kind of level, but the handlebar extension is a little off, I have to admit, but I think it's good enough for what it is. I think it's good enough for what it is. Anyways, enjoy the ride here. Just enjoy the ride. That's what I have to say. Enjoy the ride. Let's do a little bit more. Let's do a little bit more off-road before I end this, because I think it's fun. It is fun. There you go. Here, I'm pedaling right now. Maybe I'll make it a little smoother. It's very jerky on just the throttle. That's what I've noticed when I compare the two, RADMINI and RAD Rover. But I'm on pedal assist 2, gear 1, and you can see I'm just mowing right through this grass. Of course, this grass has been mowed already, so it's not that hard for me. I can feel my legs starting to burn slightly, but I think I can handle it. So the camera, I think this is a success. I like the camera. It's working. It may not be like straight like the horizon's not exactly horizontal and all that stuff, but at the same time, it kind of gives you the feeling of the bumpiness as well, because you know this ride is not smooth. All right, it is not smooth at all. At least you get an idea of what it's like. Ooh. All right, let's get on some paved road. Let's see how it feels on that bump. Okay, not too bad. The front suspension works good enough. All right. Yes, the front suspension works good enough, and it's horizontal enough for me. And I think it is a better experience overall. But that's just me. Maybe I'm wrong on that. There we go. Feel that bump. All right. Every time it bumps, it moves the camera just slightly. I don't know, I might have to get a better camera holder or phone holder. I'm working on that as well. Alright, this is just me pedaling. Now let's do some throttling. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Oh yeah, this is fun. Definitely having a lot of fun here. All right, I think this is a success. I'll be using this this mount during the meantime. Maybe sometime in the future, I will perhaps get a gimbal or not. I'm not sure. If this works out really good, I might just stick with this. You know, I think I like the way it turns. Like when I lean left, as I turn, you're getting that same kind of feeling. You know, like this. As you feel me, you turn left, and so this is good. I like it. It's better than the chest mount I had. Kind of better, although I do have a chest mount coming. It's springtime. All the bikes are coming out. Oh, this is great. This is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. So all the bikes are coming out. Everyone's enjoying themselves. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to tell you that much. I'm on throttle right now. Going 20 miles an hour right now. Whoa! All right, hey. Just release. I was using the thumb on the throttle. Just release it. Let go of it and just brake. Oh yeah, this is fun. I'm just sitting down riding along now. Alright, I'm going to conclude this episode. I'm having way too much fun. If you want to know what this feels like, I recommend you go get a Rad Rover yourself or a RADMINI. Anyways, like, dislike, leave a comment, or even do a video response. Until then, everyone, stay tuned for the next episode, and watch out for more of my ride-alongs. All right, bye now.